Right, so here we go again. Gav Jones, Walking Talking Gav, and we're here with
Sam Lee.
MP. Oh, she hopes.
Not yet.
So, yeah, we're just going to have a quick chit chat with Sam. If you just want to let us know, just give us a bit about your background, where you come from, what you've done.
Yeah, no bother. So I'm from Hartlepool, obviously, the same as you.
Aye.
I stood in the by-election in 2021. I've never been in a political party, never been a politician, never been a councillor or anything like that. I just had enough of all of their, what can I say, bullshit?
Of course you can, say what you
All
want.
of their shit. Right, thanks. Novel on this one. Right, so I'm just fed up, and I'm an intelligent person. I'm not an academic, but I'm intelligent. I'm a journalist by trade. I've been, I walked in my first newsroom at 16-year-old, and I learned to ask questions, and I'd already, I asked loads before. So I thought, right, I'm going to stick my neck out and stand as a politician, and I come third. Apparently that was all right. I wanted to come first. You can't do now in third place.
Try again, innit?
Exactly, yeah. I think people are fed up of all political parties now. They're just convinced that if you either have to have red or blue in, and I don't subscribe to that anymore whatsoever.
I think with that, what it is it's when these for the last 10-20 years, it's like you don't have to have the right policies. You don't have to be a good person. You just have to be less worse than the person in front of you.
That's what I know.
And
That's
what
the
it's turned
yardstick.
into.
Do you know when you say when obviously we've got a Conservative politician MP for that. No, we're not talking about politics. Sorry. But
No, we can talk about what you want. Like the town politics is the centre of everything, isn't it?
It is. Well, I just see it as like a Hartlepool person, and we've tried and had a Conservative, and she's obviously done. I'm sorry, but she's done nothing. I got banned from her social media the day after the election. I hadn't even spoke to her. And she said to people, I'll contact her, and she's obviously got local knowledge. And I sent her an email saying you're welcome to, and get that sex offender off the stage, because that should never be allowed in a million years. And I never heard from her, and not many people have by the sounds of things. So I like you say, going back to Labour, Labour's not got better. We've just found out Conservatives are terrible.
Right, well let's just talk about you, because you've got a lot of positive things to say. So if you're like me, you've got life experience more than anything. So at the minute, what do you think the main issues are in the town?
Main issues in the town. To be honest,
We've got a beer on the phone.
to be honest, there's issues. I mean, Hartlepool for me, right, is I feel safe in my town. I don't think I'm going to get knifed. I don't think I'm going to get raped. I feel, as a woman walking in my town, I feel all right.
Yeah.
However, there are those issues creeping in. There's I'm hearing more of people, like younger ones having knives, which was never known. And like we talked about before, we talked about like smack coming in. That came in when I was a kid, and I'm like say 47 now. I was hearing about people it just coming in the 80s and stuff. That should have been something should have been done, or we should have a system to deal with the people who fall to it. There's that. I mean, there's a lot of smaller time crime, like burglaries, shopping,
massively
car thefts, arson attacks.
That's got out of hand as well.
Well, you wonder how much of it is like kids just pissed off that they've got nowhere to go, and like we were going to talk about mental health issues. What's their outlet for their they're not getting taught resilience. They're not getting taught coping methods, and some of them there's nothing for them, and some of them their outlet might be setting fire to a car, unfortunately.
So
taking their own lives anyway.
Yeah. So what if you get elected? What can you do for this town?
I can make a fucking big noise. That's what I can do. Nobody who goes into into Westminster on behalf of a political party can truly say that their town comes first, because when they're told to stand in line, they stand in line, and they can't shout as an independent. There's no independence in there. I think we should have 650 just people, intelligent people from their own town that goes with a blueprint into Westminster and says, right, this is our skills, this is our deficit, this is what we want, and that's what I'm going to do. Look, we are an area of deprivation. The word deprivation comes from deprived. What are we deprived of? We're deprived of the money that we all pay our taxes and stuff. We pay VAT on everything that we buy. There's a £780 billion pot gets collected off us every year, and we don't go anywhere near enough, and we get all the problems heaped on us. We get industry taken away, we get jobs taken away, we get housing taken away. How many out of town landlords are there that have now got control of our housing? It's disgusting.
I've been.
I know I've got friends who can't get houses now for love nor money to rent. It's just impossible.
I've been to the civic centre to help a family before to. They were living in a house in that was in disrepair. So they said to them, like, there's something you can do about it. So we took them to the civic centre, and when I went to the civic centre, there was 3 people laid outside to sleep outside the housing office. So I went in and spoke to the housing people, and before I spoke about this family, I said to them, like, is that not embarrassing for you? It's like, there's 3 people outside, it's homeless, outside the housing centre, and he said, no, they said to me, they have to come in. Do they have to come and ask for help? I said, you're getting paid probably £40,000 a year. Like, do us a favour, mate, go outside and help someone who needs your help. But anyway, we'll get out now in a bit. So, before we get into the mental health thing, how can the public bring issues to you if they've got issues? Where can they contact you? What can they contact you through?
Most people contact me through Facebook. I've got a Sam Lee for MP page on Facebook. People message me and end up at my kitchen table like you are now. I'm literally sat around this kitchen table most days. Or people come down my allotment. I've got an allotment in Froston. If you're fit enough, come down and see me at my allotment and I'll give a spade in your hand while you're at it. But I live in the town, people know me. I've been, obviously, I was a reporter for Hartlepool, the Hartlepool Mail for years. I covered pools. A lot of people know how to get in contact. I'm easy enough to find or to get in contact with, but Facebook is the place.
Right. So let's get on to the main issue. Obviously, you know why I'm a mental health campaigner, and and that's what we're doing. So, what's your understanding of mental health personally? What do you understand of it? So not a broad question, like
it is. No, it is, and it's something that I worried about the most in lockdown. It was brought to the furthest front of my attention. I was frightened about people who were on their own. I was frightened about people who were on the edge, being locked away on their own, and that really scared me. And I thought about that more than anything else. I think when lockdown came, and I watched the mental health figures rise, and I just thought, it's happening to many people around me, people's kids, people's grandparents committing suicide, everything, and it was so.
Madness, isn't it?
And I have looked into it in detail. For me, I want to know what the root of the problem is, and the solution lie there. The solution ain't antidepressants. That's for certain. I'm sick of people rattling around here on antidepressants because doctors can't. Well, it should never get to the doctor's stage. For me, it starts in schools, and that's what's giving children mental health issues.
Yeah, with medication, it's a bit of a dodgy subject. So I think there's if someone's in distress and short term, short term it can help. But I think long term it has to be therapy, counselling.
I've had friends, a 50-year-old. Who have gone past the stress levels at work where they can cope, and for the first time in their lives they've had a phone call from a practice nurse and offered antidepressants within 10 minutes, not even seen, no like
I got given diazepam off the urgent care. I went over because I was in a bad way. I've been trying to access services for obviously everyone knows about it. I was just trying to access the services. They said, as soon as I walked in, can't help you. You know, we're not your doctor, can't help you. Listen, mate, at night, I hear things around there, can't help you. I want to see somebody, send me a nurse practitioner, give me 10 diazes.
So you just want to, knock you out.
That's the bloke I spoke to was lovely, Irish bloke, but it's just not the answer. I wanted someone to come and speak to me and tell me what's wrong with me.
How many kids in this situation that are pleading for help and getting absolutely nothing?
Yeah, and there's a pot of money there, and it's going to the wrong places. It's like so. It proves me, like the likes of what I do on a daily basis, helping people, the likes of what the Headlight Project are doing, Let's Connect, Lily-Ann's Cornerstone, I'll definitely make the well for anyone. Like, what are the other people doing?
Yeah.
Because we're doing it on a daily. Like, obviously Ian Caldwell's on him. He's like what do you call it? He's my mentor. And he said how many man hours do we put in? Like people who are not connected, funded by anything, and the government don't come collect figures off us. Like I've been involved in God knows how many suicides, one way or another, to if it was searching or I've been trying to support that person, but no one's come and collect information off us. Imagine how many people Let's Connect are in contact with on a daily basis. They've got a month waiting list, you know what I mean? They've got more waiting lists than the NHS, and they're not funded, and they don't collect information off them, so they don't know what's happening on the streets.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely not. Where they're getting their information from doctors, and people are not getting as far as doctors, or they're getting them from like referrals to wherever. When you come through the door and become a case, then you're a number. But before that, like nobody can get there. One in how many are actually getting through the door? People are absolutely begging for help right
Losing
now.
lives, man. I watch it every day, man.
I know, and I don't want it to get to that level. We need to look at what we're doing in primary schools. Why aren't we teaching our kids resilience? Why are we making them fit into this tiny little mold? Sit down, wear the same thing, put your hand up if you need the toilet. All think the same. If you just give them, like, do some academic studies in the morning, do some practical stuff in the afternoon. That's the education system should be, and make everybody feel like they have a purpose in this life. Like, let them take something to eat home, like cook a meal, let them learn how to put a shelf up, let them learn how to fix a tap or fix a car, and come home feeling like they've got some worth. Not, you got an E, or your reading level's below average, or you haven't got the SATs, so you are shit, you are not unworthy. And then that carries through into adult life. You get the most in you by the age of 7. You've learnt your values and everything. If you've been told by them that you're not as good as the next person because you can't do maths as good as them or English, you're gonna feel like that, and that's what starts the chain off.
But as well, so obviously everyone just you can't cure mental health. It's simple as that. And like, if you've been through mental health like I have, it's there. It's never gonna go. But it's about so with mental health, when you first encounter mental health, right? This is how it is. You hide it and bury it because you think that you're strange. You think you're not normal. There's something wrong with you, and you don't understand it. And
how did it come out for you then? Like, how did you start? How old were you when you started feeling?
I'd say about 23, but I can't really remember. It was after prison, but
what were you like in prison with it?
I didn't look, right? But so I can look back now and think, well, I did have mental health when I was in prison, but I didn't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because I was locked in a room, like every day I was in prison, I thought I was
going to be a weird feeling anyway.
I thought I was going to die. I never ever thought I would get out of there. For some reason, I did not. Even the day I was getting out, I thought I'm going to have an heart attack in the night or something.
And that's a mental health issue.
Yeah, but I didn't realise that though until now. I look back, and now I can even look back as far as when I was a kid, and I used to like. I've sort of had a bit of hatred for my mother because of what we went through as a kid. But now I look back and I think the mental health she was going through, and looking to think, and a lot worse than what I'm going through, and so it's about education and money. So if you first encounter mental health, that's how it is. You just think, you're just confused, you don't know, and most people hit the drink and eat the drugs. But if people are open about it and they can reach out to someone who's been through it, and then once I understood it, it's still struggle with it every day. But I know that I'm not strange. I'm not.
No, yeah.
Well, I am a bit strange, but not because of that. Like, it's understanding, it's education, the system, not the system. So mental health in the last 15 years evolved like you wouldn't believe, because of social media, because of social pressures, because of poverty, because of whatever. But the training hasn't changed. Mental health training hasn't changed. Like, I don't care what anyone says in this full entire world, you cannot learn about mental health just by going to university. You can't. Like, I guarantee you, right, you could put someone through mental health training for 5 years, right, and come to university, and I sit under it and I'd knock them out the park with it, because they couldn't tell me a thing.
No, exactly. Well, that's
but I could tell them a thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's that, and then you're not going to know unless you're around it and you're understanding it from that perspective.
Also, we need to like, when there's £15 million there, right? Give £1 million to us, these community organisations, revolutionise this town. There's £15 million there. We're doing it already.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It has to come in straight into the community. The problem, like you were talking about before, is a pot of money becomes available. So at the minute, money's become available for mental health and for like high level mental health. And in what you'll get is a load of vultures come in the middle, some good, but mostly who know that pot of and money is available, and they become the middleman for distributing it. But that's when you lose half the money, because these management companies will come in and say, we'll take that pot of money and we'll deliver the following tick boxes, and then they will find something to put it in and then tick their boxes and take their money, their scalp off the top.
Also,
that's how everything works with government. Somebody comes in, is the middleman, takes the money away, distributes a pittance and keeps the rest for themselves. It needs to go direct to community organisations.
And like we're doing a lot more man hours than anyone else. Like not so
Why
much
should
me.
these things be volunteer? Like if you think, like I said, we pay 780 billion, I think I worked out, in taxes collectively in the UK ourselves. So how would you distribute that money? Like when you see the contracts that go out, I look at the government's website and I see the contracts that go out and where they go to, and I follow on companies' house and I have a look at those, so when I have a look at it, and billions of our money is just given away to the wrong people. Billions and billions. Arms companies, bullet factories, everything. And then you've
I
got
haven't got the attention span to look into stuff like that. I just ask someone else.
I do. I read reports to the letter, and it's a journalist in me, and I have to follow a trail till I've got something that to me makes sense, even if it's bad. But that, like, as a community, you would divvy up that money. I would go to Parliament and go, right, we're gonna need 7 billion this year, because this is what we've got. And I don't know, what do we get, 20 million or something like that each?
What for the town?
Yeah, I can't remember what the actual figure
sure.
is. It's not 20 million, it's more than that. But
We'll
it's
just
not
say 20 million.
200
We'll
million,
just say what
something
we
like
want.
that. But we need so much more, because because of the issues that they've.
We last in line. That's what it is. The North always last in line.
It is, yeah, but apparently we were getting a Conservative
But
MP,
but
and she was just going to wade the money through.
There is where there can be cutbacks for money in that. So let's get on to another issue, is weekend support. But like that one for me, that is massive. Like there's nothing there. Like you can.
It's how governmental it is. Who would put
No,
mental health support Monday to Friday and not on a weekend?
Even like community organisations, they're it's a shock they can stay open Monday to Friday, to be honest with you. So like there needs to be middle ground, there needs to be discussion. And what I will leave you with is I am going to do another walk. So I'm going to walk to London. I'm not sure when, because I'm probably going to do it next summer now. And what I am going to do is I'm going to get a petition on the way. So I'm going to take a team with me. We're going to go every town on the way and get 100,000 signatures, and we're going to make them talk about it. To have a whole overhaul of the system.
Andy's Man's Club, Kanye, and all of those places.
It's all over that, you know.
It's what?
Andy's Man Club.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Hartlepool thing.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. You could go from one town to town, go to
So I was just in a town outside of Rochdale, and I went in a boozer and asked somewhere. Anyway, I put my tent up, and then I got talking to people, and there was this bloke, and he said, "Hold on a minute." He's rang his pal around the corner. Oh, he's forgot his name now. He'll kill us. I'll remember later. So anyway, he's actually still in his camper, man.
Oh, bless.
And made his
there's
breakfast
good people everywhere.
Yeah. And he pulled the card out. He pulled the Andy card out, and I thought it was just Hartlepool. Put lots in Wales and everywhere.
Yeah.
So when's the election, kiddo?
It's May next year.
You're up.
If I'm wanted, I will stand again, because I am just fed up of politicians. People following people from London with who given the wrong orders, who don't understand the town, who don't understand the issues, who don't understand the strengths, who don't understand the beauty of us and how resilient we are. And I'm just going to go and stand up and make a fucking loud noise when I get there.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
What this town needs is actions, and we need it now. And
I'll keep going. I've never stopped since the last one. Like I say, I'm always got
I won't
something
be
about
running,
here.
but I will be holding everyone to account.
Good. Absolutely.
Thanks very much.
No worries.